Hi, welcome to If I Did It, a show where we analyze and solve pure kerfuffles from a world that's beyond.
Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha! That's not working. I'm trying a new catch thing. I went for the ha-cha-cha-cha, Jimmy Durante.
All
Sorry.
right, Jimmy Durante.
Sorry, I'm trying new things out.
It's good. Can't knock it. So, joining us, John Nash, filling in for Kid Nate, and Eugene S. Robinson from Aussie.com, and author of Fight Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Asking. We're afraid you get your ass kicked for asking.
Hey, there you go.
Now, Eugene, you're the UFC.
Sir! I am.
Despite Dana White's threats, Georges St-Pierre relinquished his middleweight title without even defending it. How do you preserve the sanctity of the title and handle GSP's eventual return?
Eventual return? Listen, you know, the bald one said it best this week. People were like, are you pissed off? He said, I said I was going to piss off, but when the sun comes up tomorrow, I'm not pissed off about the sun coming up tomorrow because I knew the sun was going to come up tomorrow. That's not what he said. That's what I'm saying he said. This guy has been a fair weather fighter for several years now. Him deciding to come back and fight Bisping was a case of old dudes sitting on the couch saying, "Hey man, let's get the band back together, man." He doesn't have an enthusiasm for it, doesn't have an interest in it, doesn't know what the second act is, probably has made enough money, doesn't give a shit about making more money, is not going to try to fight Pacquiao, it doesn't want to play the game, doesn't like the trash talk, doesn't give a shit. And this is not a guy you can build a franchise on. So stay or go, GSP is a fucking liability to me if I'm the UFC. How many asses did he put in the seats for that fight? Well, more than McNuggets? Not really. More than even Johnny Boney Joni? Probably. But you know what? Don't need the headache. Got to move on. The guy is done in 2 years best anyway. 2 or 3 years best anyway, even if he continues to fight. And he clearly does not want to. So God love you. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I got to start looking to the future.
Man, so if he knocks on the door, I guess you deal with it then, right?
Yeah. He comes back for what? What, to fight Bisping again? To give Bisping his, hey man, let's get the band back together moment? Fuck that. Yeah,
What do you think, John?
Well, this is perfect opportunity to disagree with Eugene, who's been shellacking me in Care Don't Care. So I get a chance to.
And again this past week. You don't
have to bring it up. No one really cares.
We were neck and neck. People care about our Care Don't Care picks. We were neck and neck. And where did I pull ahead? Go ahead, say it.
I don't know. I got shellacked the whole way. I don't think. You know what though? If we count the boxing picks, I had a big comeback.
No, I picked Lomo too.
Oh damn it! I forgot about that. We didn't get into that. Oh, anyways, back to the. I think Eugene's 100% wrong in the fact that because he's always wrong 100%. So that's the main priority. That's the main reason. But beyond that,
you don't really understand percentages, do you?
Well, it's not really. I've 100 divided by 2. Anyways, the point is that the one thing I do understand is the UFC owes a lot of money. They gave a lot of money to these guys named the Fertittas, and they need to make a return on that investment. That $4 billion plus, because when they bought out the remaining shares of the Fertittas, it was priced at over $4 billion. On top of that, part of it's through loans. We don't know, $1.8 billion at least they're paying on interest and loans, probably more. With that in mind, I don't think they care about the sanctity of the titles. They don't care of keeping the titles.
Really? Yeah, I no disagreement there. They don't give a fuck about titles.
They are looking to just survive the next month, to meet their goals that they've told investors and lenders that they'll hit. That's why they love GSP for now, because GSP guarantees at least one more big payday, which will get them through the hump to worry about the next big payday of how they're going to get Conor McGregor back, or maybe they'll hypnotize Ronda to come back for one last fight.
Oh,
what big fight is GSP capable of fighting that would get you up off the couch?
There's a couple. There's a couple for
McNuggets.
Well, Conor McGregor's a big fight that he could do.
Okay,
he can come back and challenge Tyron Woodley for the welterweight, even though I don't think
he will never do that.
He probably won't, but you'd put another $1 million on top of his purse, which is, then he might consider. There's that. There's maybe they finagle a Nick Diaz fight, or even a Nate Diaz fight might sell. There's several fights some of them horrible. I mean, who knows? Maybe they can make people get interested in Ben Askren. I doubt it, but there is a chance that you can build up some.
Is that your business plan? Who knows?
Well, yeah. I mean, for now, who knows? Because we don't even know who they have around. That's plenty of guys, in other words, that they could put them against Ronda. That would sell, But
actually, I saw something the other day that Ronda had an executive producer title, and for the first time in a long time, I was like, now somebody's fucking thinking. That's some solid fucking thinking. Become a power behind the scenes. Look, you know who that chick in Linda Perry, Four Non-Blondes, right? In that band, you don't hear about the other members of Four Non-Blondes. Linda Perry, however, has won a bunch of fucking Grammys with Pink, is married to Sarah Gilbert, and living in a mansion in LA, okay? Get behind the scenes as quickly as possible, because those asses on the stage are fucking transitory, man.
Well, one guy who's behind the scenes making the money, John, you're Dana White.
Oh, usually that's Eugene, but I'll take it this time.
I just was me, but it's now you. So okay.
I know. Usually you are Dana White. You love to be the bald one. I get to be the bald one now.
When asked about your foray into boxing as a promoter, Bob Arum replied, live and in public, if you will, quote, it's an acknowledgement of how strong boxing is. He has the UFC that's cratering, and he needs boxing to save himself, end quote. Do you, Dana?
I don't think they need boxing to save them, but there is some interesting stuff going on. One is, it's obviously we're in the cyclical the cycle we are in MMA. It's a downward cycle right now. We're down in one of the valleys of MMA interest, and in a strange way, I think partly to blame, it's Conor McGregor and Mayweather's fight has brought renewed interest into boxing. And on top of that, think of all the MMA fighters that want to get into boxing. It kind of makes boxing seem cooler than MMA. Why do all the MMA fighters want to do boxing?
They don't want to get into boxing because boxing is cool. They want to get into boxing because they want to be standing on a table in Ibiza with a cardboard cutout of their face on their face, dancing around fucking high on God knows what. That's why.
Yeah, but making money is cool. You know what I mean? It's
yes, it is.
If you're MMA, know. Yeah, either would I. That's what I heard. I heard making money is cool. I mean, I was told before not being rich is cool, and I
fuck that.
Not working at all.
You need to cut that person.
Yeah, believe me, I'm really pissed still about that advice. Yeah. But the whole point is that the boxing has it's gotten more interest than MMA right now. It seems more intriguing to people for some reason. It's getting more mainstream, casual attention. So it's making more money. And I think the UFC, because they have to make a ton of money, they got to keep what? Hold on, what?
This is crazy. I just can't let you do this to yourself. This is just crazy talk. You take Conor McGregor out, and how many people lined up for that Lomo, even fucking Saga, whatever that guy's name is? Who gives a fuck about those guys? It's the intersection that makes them live. But does the intersection benefit MMA? It benefits MMA less than boxing, which means it benefits boxing more than MMA. But there's no native resurgence of interest in boxing. Who do you give a fuck about? Anthony Joshua? Is that even his name?
He just sold 70,000 after selling 90,000 tickets. The guy's a monster superstar in the world. You got Crawford's coming up big. You got boxing's doing better ratings, especially with young people on TV right now. Lomachenko versus
all right. I'm going to text everybody I know under 30 before this show is over. I'll let you know how many of them know who Lomo is.
But John, since you're Dana White, do you bother? Do you need boxing to save yourself?
I don't think you need it, but I think what it does is it gives you another market to expand and to make sure you have revenue coming in for the UFC. That's what it is. It's at least they're going to fail badly, I think, too. The UFC. I think it's just right. It's Dana's. It's an ego trip for him. It's purely a vanity project that they're giving to him to keep him happy. But I think their thinking is that this is, hey, MMA has a limited audience. Sometimes it's down, sometimes it's up. Let's add something that we can have other sources of revenue in that come in that kind of fits our target audience or at least our business model.
Well, Eugene, you sound like you disagreed. So
no. The last part of what he said was dead on, but it reminds me of that whole mafia thing, the Godfather thing. Like, these are not the actions of a friend. Or like 50 Cent said, you're making money and I can't get with you. Fuck you. I mean, the reality of it is, no matter where you are, there you are. In regards to the bald one, whether he goes into boxing or stays in MMA, his problems remain, and he just can't get it out of his head that the reason why Bob Arum and Don King were able to stay around so long is because, despite what Mike Tyson says about a viperous motherfucker Don King is, they pay. They fucking pay. Now, it's not always good, as we see with Conor McNuggets. It's not always good to pay a guy. Sometimes, what is that thing? The man that the gods most love, they first drive mad. Not many of us could do with an infusion of $135 million and stay sane. That was the worst thing that could have happened to that guy. It's strange enough to say. 10 mil, he was acting pretty normal when he was getting 5 mil a fight, right? He was showing up, working, not doing that now. But the reality of it is, you gotta pay these guys. You gotta, if I was in a position to be developing MMA as a property, you need Luke Rockhold to tell you, you gotta spread. These are the actions of a friend. You spread the wealth. I can't be reading about you buying mansions in Malibu and mansions in LA when I can't pay my fucking electricity, and you want me to go out there and risk getting, Aljo Sterling in the ring for $5 grand, 10 grand. And some Reebok ching chong change? Fuck that. No. He's going to have to pay whether he goes to boxing. What he's hoping is he can take his MMA ways into boxing, and with the imprimatur of, I'm this big MMA guy, get up-and-coming boxers who are like, fuck it, I'll take the short end money because I could have a TV show, or I could be like Ronda. Man, it doesn't work that way. You're going to destroy boxing like you destroyed MMA by doing it on the cheap, and you don't have to do it on the cheap anymore. You don't have to.
Well, one guy who what?
No, so, his problem is with him no matter what. Goes into boxing, he will do to boxing what he did to MMA. He needs to change his mind.
Well, one guy from boxing who isn't helping him change his mind, Eugene, you're Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, yep.
Dana White said if UFC will sue you if you negotiated with Conor McGregor's team instead of UFC for a boxing match. Is it time to lawyer up?
Who am I now? The bald one?
Manny Pacquiao.
I'm Manny Pacquiao. No, because the thing is, what is that great line from Emperor Jones, played by Eugene O'Neill, where Smithers is the white slave trader who's been aiding and abetting Emperor Jones's fortunes. There's a slave revolt, and Emperor Jones is kind of nervous, and Smithers is like enjoying it, like his Iago, and he says, what's the matter? You ain't got no kick against me? Ain't I winked at all your crooked schemes? I mean, this is the same kind of fucking thing. Pacquiao was like, you got no kick against me. Your problem is not with me. Your problem is with the man on the table in Ibiza. And the reality of it is, if he wants to do this fight, if they waive another 130 mil in front of McNuggets, he's doing the fucking fight. You know that, and I know that. Well, I'll sue Pacquiao. Okay. Okay, Pacquiao says, all right, I won't pursue this fight. And then all of a sudden it becomes like one of those old 1940s gangster movies. McNuggets is sitting around going, I don't think I can fight, boss. My neck is kind of, my shoulder. I thought it was your neck. Well, it's my neck and my shoulder and my knee. How many more years go by before it's a non-factor? They're going to let him do what he wants to do because he's only going to do what he wants to do at this point. And $130 million is a fucking provocative reason to do what you want to do. But I said it before on Knuckle Up, and I'll say it again. This has been nothing but bad, and it will continue to be nothing but bad for MMA.
What do you do if you're Manny, Johnny?
Well, I kind of agree with Eugene. I don't do anything. I mean, what's he gonna sue Manny for? One thing, boxers communicate all the time to talk about purses and stuff. They're not. It's not like MMA where you lock a guy down and say you can't go to any other promotion. There's co-promotion constantly in boxing, so it makes sense to reach out to other boxers. And McGregor's now a boxer. Plus, McGregor announced, I'm a free agent. He might be full of shit, but he said publicly, I'm a free agent who's looking for fights in boxing and in MMA. So if the bald one was serious, I like that now, the bald one. If Dana White was serious about suing Pacquiao, I think he'd get thrown out of media. Tortious interference for what? The guy announced he's a free agent, and I called him to see if it's true, if we can make a fight. I think what's happening, though, is I think McGregor's I think he's playing this trying to drive up his MMA purse, basically saying, hey, give me a boxing type person MMA and I'll come back. And if they don't, maybe, I don't know if he really will, but I guess he could try to force them to make another fight for him with Pacquiao, or maybe he goes all out because he has tons of money now and he can take the risk and say, "Oh, I'll go to court and see if I can break my contract because I'm willing to sit out a year or two to go to court to make this happen." So
with my 130 mil.
Well, and that's the thing. But he's not. I mean, okay, 135 mil is a compelling deal. But he's not. He's got a blueprint for everybody, because at this point now he was doing the Achilles thing. Look how many guys are doing the Achilles thing, by which I mean hanging out by their tent saying, "You need me? Oh, that's too bad. You need me. Pay." The Diaz is both. Oh, you want to fight? Hey, guess what? There you go. There's your fight. You fuck. Pay me. And other people now are like not so willing to get off the couch. Demetrius Mighty sitting on the couch. Oh, I'm glad TJ is willing to run down into the fields and do your bidding. Not me, Jack. Pay. Everybody slowly but surely are pulling that fucking pay me card. Stipe, same thing. Well, fight, pay me. Everybody's saying the same thing. Pay me. How long do you think you're gonna keep them on the farm? How many beach houses can you buy before people go, whoa, 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 beach house, yo, bro, pay? So it's everybody's now saying it's not about the money. That's the first sign that it's about the money, when people say it's not about the money.
John, you have anything to say to that?
No, that was pretty good. I give Eugene credit on that. That's why he probably beats me every week in the show. So,
but you know what though? You're the UFC, John. Bloody Elbows Ian Kidd have exposed a loophole in your anti-doping policy that allows them to secretly exempt athletes from testing if you so choose.
Woo.
You refused to comment when he asked, "What will you say when you can no longer hold your peace?"
I think they can always hold their peace. That seems to be the history of MMA. So I would be quiet permanently. What happened when Vitor Belfort, the test came out from him, that the blood tests were leaked on emails, and that was finally revealed. They never commented on that. So I think these things, I'd be like, Bloody Elbow who? What kind of site's that? That's a electronic karate magazine.
I love that. I love that.
We don't need, well, wait till a real journalist, not fake news, write something, and then we'll comment. And then, that won't happen. So that's my sorry, Nate. No respect for Bloody Elbow.
Oh, so who was John supposed to be just now? He's supposed
to
be yeah.
Or Endeavor.
Yeah, Endeavor. I mean, yeah, I think John is dead on the money at this point. It's like, but he's on the money, but it feels to me very much like Claude Rains in Casablanca. There's gambling in this casino? I am shocked. One of the commenters, one of the longtime listeners to Knuckle Up, said it a long time ago, and I actually went on record as saying, you're crazy, that he thought that he said very much the same thing, that they're dispensations, and I've had individual micro concerns, but nothing. I didn't go full macro on it. Like I've been charting, for example, GSP's nipples. You go back to some of the early fights and you look at how the pads under his areolas, how they've changed. Sometimes puffy, sometimes not. It's only one thing that does that, man. There's only one thing that I know, and I'm not saying the guy is taking performance enhancing drugs. Maybe he's taking Clomid. Maybe he's taking Novadex. Maybe he's taking anti-estrogens, which effectively increases. I mean, there's a range that they can test for. If you don't go over that range, you're okay. Don't you want to be at the highest end of that range right before you get popped? I don't know, but it seems like some guys there's just a lot of questions in my mind about some of the people who are making it through the so-called testing. And I'm not too far in the Bay Area from fucking Victor Conte and Balco. We got Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire and that whole baseball steroid scandal, and he's out of jail. He's back in business now. I know guys who go to him. I'm not saying he's doing anything illegal, but I'm just saying, if you think this is an airtight system that USADA has got things on lock, you're wrong. But if I'm if I'm the bald one, what the fuck? Fuck. I got a lot of I got a beach house to worry about. What do I give a fuck about this?
I thought when he said charting, I thought he said sharding originally, so I was a little confused. And then you're the only one besides my girlfriend that would keep track that my ex-girlfriend would actually keep track of GSP's physique that much.
Yeah, because I want to be able, when he got popped, which I thought was an eventuality, I wanted to be the guy who could say, oh, go back to knuckle up 373. I fucking told you. I told you. That's what I want to be, that guy.
But one guy I think people don't want to be is within John Nash's Legion of Doom. John, do you have any additions?
Yes, we got, the inaugural member of the Legion of Doom, the leader of it is Kadyrov. Kadyrov, I should say, from Czech. That was our first one, and he apparently took it to heart, the Legion of Doom, because he's actually forming his own Legion of Doom, because he's now, as a member of his ACMET MMA or sponsored or a member of some sort of it, is Alexander Emelianenko, Fedor Emelianenko's brother, who not only served time in jail years ago for criminal acts of burglary, or robbery, and assault, he also served time recently for rape, and he's now, his brother has disowned him. They're in a feud between them. His brother thinks he's a rotten human being. Fedor said that or something about he hangs out with unworthy people, says terrible comments. And then, so who do you see him with? He's now with Kadyrov. So this is right now, this is literally the Legion of Doom. This is the Brainiac Lex Luthor team up, founding the whole Legion of Doom. This is our center of the Legion of Doom.
And then you see what Kadyrov said the other day. He was like, I would lay my life down for Vladimir. It's like, that's pretty compelling, man. You know, I mean, you could hope that he's not like Al Capone and go ahead, lay your life down for me right now. Lay it down. I'm done with you. You know, but yeah, I like that pick. That's a good pick.
What about your Lost Battalion, Eugene?
Oh, Lost, I thought you would never ask. You know, the thing is, if you do this show on Saturday night, you get a different Lost Battalion than you get on a Sunday night. And now that we're on a Tuesday night, it was like getting a pressure cooker and cooking a sort of bouillabaisse or something I've never tasted before in my life. I mean, you know, Alamane Sterling, he manned up and took responsibility for his stunning fucking knee in the face, frozen body knockout in his last UFC at the hands of Marias. And you waited a few days, and then the mist descended, and he comes with the exculpatory. Well, like, you know, you got to realize. And so he's not the only one in the Lost Battalion. Believe me, it's on fire. It's on fire because I think now that people think, I haven't been paid attention to for long enough. So I'm gonna say something like, for example, let me pull out the Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson has been saying shit that's misty as fuck. Okay, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she blames her nutrition team. The mistakes they made were unforgivable. End quote. Oh, really? How about UFC Fresno? That's in the Lost Battalion. How about UFC Winnipeg? That's pure Canadian mist. Okay. What about Cub Swanson, who I love? I'm a big Cub Swanson fan. These are quotes. I got sick. Felt like this was my best performance. I was picking him apart. And, you know, when he's saying shit like that, people are like looking at each other like, what the fuck? Don't give that guy a mic. Alexander Gustafsson, the Mauler. He says he's going to be a champion in 2018. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? So that's it for my entries in the Lost Battalion. But in a lot of ways, that's almost too much. Team in Lost Battalion right now, I have to say, Sarah Longo and Jackson Wink have solidifying their places in the Lost Battalion. And if you disagree, like at one point somebody told me New York sucks. I was like, fuck you. Is it a punk rock days? All these guys from DC came up, and the guy looked at me very honestly, without any hostility in his face. He goes, "Show me different." And he was right. All the New York punk rockers were smoking cigarettes up in the balcony, and like the DC folks owned the dance floor. I was like, fuck, he's right. He is right. So in this instance, You don't think Jackson Wig belongs there? You don't think Sarah Longo bears there? Show me otherwise.
And tell us in the comments. Thanks for joining us. Follow us on Twitter, Eugene S. Robinson, Alexio, Hey Not the Face at Facebook at MMA Pancholes. Please give us a thumbs up, Eugene.
Pancholes!
Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube, MMA Nation on iTunes. Visit Bloody Elbow, buy Oxbow's Thin Black Duke wherever fine music is sold. And immediately following the show, be sure to check out our new non-MMA show, If the Shoes Fit. I don't think the link is in the bottom, Eugene. So,
which is what he means is there's no link in the bottom now. So I don't know how the fuck they're gonna find. Maybe
we'll Google.
No.
If the shoes fit. We'll tweet the link. But if the shoes fit, Google, then put Alexi Old. Otherwise, you get a crappy old movie called If the Shoe Fits. So put If the Shoes Fit, Alexi Old, and then that'll link you to the web page to find the link. We're trying to make this as simple as possible, and apparently we're failing.
That's what we're doing.
That's right.
But we're gonna do it right now, like now.
As soon as John ends the show.
Yeah, as soon as I figure out how to hit the damn button. Okay, here we go. And it's